Hi, and welcome to the Limitless Leaders podcast. We're almost halfway through 2022, and what a year it's been. I've had some health challenges of late. 2 weeks ago, I had severe abdominal pains and ended up getting rushed to emergency. Had a 4-hour wait in emergency and then overnight in emergency because there was no beds. And I do have to say I've come out the other side. I'm getting my health back in order, but it really prompted me to want to talk about gratitude today. And I have so much gratitude for the frontline workers in our healthcare system. I have never seen people work so closely as a team in such a high pressured environment. And I could have lain in that emergency, and I did for a bit. I was quite frustrated not being able to be in a room. I was feeling shocking. But then I thought, how lucky am I to even be in a hospital in this day and age and with what's going on in the world? So today I wanted to just share what I'm seeing out there. We've got teams reconnecting back in the office. We've still got a lot of companies having what I'm calling the back to office resistance and adapting to these new ways. People that have got partners that have started working during COVID and now they can't be in the office as much as they used to. And obviously the great resignation, or what I call the great rejuvenation, is in play. So one of the key elements of why people are moving jobs, revisiting purpose in the last 2 years, I think has really brought that to the surface, is a lot of people don't feel appreciated. In your organization, I've got some companies I work with, they call it appreciation, recognition, praise, celebrating success. Today I'm going to call it gratitude, and I'm going to call it out for what it is. Gratitude and recognition are obviously interlinked. And what I love about gratitude is it forces us to reinforce the positives in our lives. And we can be grateful for people, we can be grateful for situations, we can be grateful for so many different things. And I got asked the other day, what is the difference between being thankful and grateful? And I think, and I write about this in my international award-winning book, Gift Mindset, under the gift of gratitude. Being thankful, I think, is a bit more internal, where you feel thankful. Being grateful, I think normally you externalize it in different ways. And research is suggesting that gratitude is not simply a cultural construct, but it's actually rooted in our evolutionary history. When we're grateful, have a think about it. When we're grateful, we actually focus on what we do have, not what we don't. So if I go back to the hospital scenario, I could have, and I did for a while, I'm a realist and I was in a lot of pain. I pay private healthcare and I'm out in a corridor overnight feeling like this. But I watched the frontline workers in action and the amazing job they did. And I went, you know what? I'm actually grateful that they're here. They're a stone's throw away from me if something gets worse. And I'm grateful that I'm in the best place I can be right now. And it really helped me to surrender that mindset and, I guess, be in the moment and be ready to heal. So I think the experience of being grateful in and out of the workplace, it helps us to focus on who and what is good. And this can compel us to pay this goodness forward, which we need more than ever. And I really think gratitude is the untapped currency for retention. You can throw more money at people, you can try and find them different roles, you can beg them to stay. But I think it's coming back to what I'm calling the soft skills of the future, things around optimism, things around curiosity, things around connection and gratitude, all of those things that I believe make up limitless leaders, teams, and organizations. So gratitude, when you're listening or you're watching this, I want you to think there's sort of three main conduits or three key buckets, so to speak, to gratitude. So the first is the obvious one, through our actions. So this could be saying thank you to someone. It could be sending someone a bunch of flowers, or sending them a book, or sending them a beautiful text saying, I appreciate you. We also can be grateful through our feelings. So that's when we feel grateful for something or someone. It's a bit like thankful. And we can also have what we call a grateful mindset. I'm one of those people. And a grateful mindset means that we're open to see the positive experiences in challenges, which is what the gift mindset's all about. Understanding the gift or the lesson in the good and the bad. And we can't always see it straight away. I didn't for those first few hours in hospital. And then when I knew things were under control, I was like, at least I'm in the best place I can be. So I believe, and I really do believe this, that gratitude is like the social glue that can reinforce our relationships in and out of the workplace. And it really feeds into two big passions of mine, which is connection and collaboration, and making workplaces exceptional places to work. You know, being we spend 90% of our life at work, I think it's pretty well worth, you know, taking a step back and making sure these things are happening. So, you know, barriers are the enemy to success. You know, and I know Anthony Robbins talks about this a lot. And when we become very optimistic, and if you're like me, it's easier not to look at barriers, but barriers can stifle us. They can be roadblocks, so they need to be looked at. So in a workplace environment, there's quite a few barriers to gratitude. And one I see a lot is grey gratitude. That's what I call it. It's not black, it's not white, it's wishy-washy. There's no specifics. It's a pat on the back now and then. And there's no regular forum or space for teams or peers to share what they're grateful for. Another barrier is self-reflective time. So making the time, if you're running a business or if you're in a team or leading your team, suggest making a time or even kicking off some of your meetings with who or what are you grateful for. Gets people to be forward thinking and not focus on the negatives, which is a really good one. You know, I think now is the time to look at what people are missing and ensure that's part of your everyday conversation with your team, or if you're in a team. You know, so make sure you're connecting at a deep level, doing your walk and talks, and asking for help, and also being open about gratitude. Bring gratitude in and make it part of your culture. So there's a lot of health benefits behind gratitude, and those that know me know I'm very holistic, quite spiritual, and really into things that make us better both physically and mentally. So there's been a lot of research by Lee Waters at the University of Melbourne, and there's definitely a relationship between expressing gratitude and increased productivity and job satisfaction. When people feel appreciated, you know, there's connection, there's motivation, there's what I call commitment, not just compliance, not just turning up or clocking on, but actually going with a committed energy and conviction to do a good job. So, Rodman Edmonds, he's the world's leading expert on gratitude, and he studied, I think it was 1,000 people from ages 8 to 80 over a few years. And these are some of the benefits that I researched that I actually share in my book. Gratitude can really benefit us physically, psychologically, and socially. So if we look at physical, gratitude helps build stronger immune systems and lowers blood pressure. It helps us to exercise more and take better of our health, because if you're feeling more positive in yourself and you're feeling more motivated, chances are you're going to have that lifestyle. And it helps us, the people that were researched, help people sleep longer and wake up feeling more refreshed, which is pretty cool. Psychologically, higher levels of positive emotion. So people that practice gratitude have higher levels of positive emotions. They're more awake, they're more alert, and they're evidently more playful. And there's more optimism and happiness. Now, who doesn't want that? And optimism is so important when it's genuine. It's an energy, it's infectious, it's contagious. We need it now more than ever, especially at a leadership level. And we need to look at the social benefits of gratitude. People felt more generous, helpful, and compassionate. And they actually felt more forgiving and more outgoing and less lonely and isolated. So, with the hybrid work in play, don't wait till people are in the office to express gratitude. Make it happen. It can be such an easy thing to do, and I'm going to give you some tips. Remember, we can be in gratitude or be triggered by a situation, a place, or a person. And I think you've got to really look at it like that. Who are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? So I want to give you just a few tips, and these are actually extracted out of my book Gift Mindset, which is available now on Audible, Amazon, and all good bookstores, which is quite exciting. First one is compliment colleagues on the fly. Don't always wait for a formal invitation to go, what are you grateful for? Or, some formality. So make it consistent, timely, and authentic. Yep. And we haven't been able to do the physical pat on the back for a while. So I think if and when you're in a room, bring this in. Let colleagues know what they mean to you. Too often I think we get caught up in our own mind. And we've all been there where we think, wow, that person is just amazing. Gosh, I'm so proud of them and I'm so grateful for what they do. Tick. But that person doesn't know that till we externalize it and verbalize it. So as you're listening to this, my challenge for you after listening to this podcast is reach out to somebody that you're grateful for. So it could be a family member. I've just thought of a colleague that We've just worked on a new communication game for our clients. And she's gone the extra mile getting some stuff done while I was sick in hospital. And I've thanked her on an email, but I'm actually going to reach out and thank her properly. Be thankful for the growth opportunities that challenges give us. The biggest growth doesn't come from when things are easy, when we're walking along easy street. No. They come from when we're faced with forced change, pandemic, chosen change, could be going to a new role. But adversity and obstacles need to be welcomed because they give us the most growth. And something a mentor said to me years ago was, this wouldn't be happening, Renee, if you weren't ready for it. And I, believe it or not, I take that mindset on, and it really has helped me build resilience over the years. Be grateful for learning something new and share this with others. So if you've learned something, don't hide it. If you've been to an association breakfast or you've been to a program or you've been to one of my events, go back and share what you've learnt with your team. It's that generosity of spirit that can help empower others. Invest in moments to be thankful for. So what I mean by this is take the time to express and live the gift of gratitude. So I used to journal, and journaling is a great thing to do. I tend to wake up very early, and I wake up now and I always turn on my side and I think about 3 things I'm grateful for before I get out of the bed. And it's usually my health, that I get to do the work I love with people I love making a difference, and that I live in a great country. Could be something as simple as that. And what it does, it puts your mind in a forward positive mode so that you attract and you pick that up, not the other way around. I want to give you some things for teams. So, individually or as a team, kick off your catch ups with who or what are you grateful for? And go around and everyone gets it 20 seconds. And you could actually say, who or what are you grateful for in this meeting on this catch up? Or what are you grateful for that's happened in the last 2 weeks? It helps people open up. It builds trust and vulnerability. And above all, connection. We want connected teams and collaborative cultures. Um, Another one I want to give you is a 3-to-1 ratio. So for every negative that's brought up, come up with 3 positives. Bit like the hospital scenario I gave you. So we do this a lot in team meetings. If people start going on a bit of a negative, nitpicky fest and you're trying to get to an outcome so your meetings don't go round and round and round and they're actually effective and actionable, you say, hey, that's a good point. That could go wrong, but what could go right? And you always find you can actually the positives can outweigh the negative, and it gets everyone thinking about what they can do, not what they can't do. Some companies I'm working with over the years have introduced Win Wednesdays. That's a really good one. So everyone shares a win, big or small, how they got to that, and you can bring gratitude into that conversation as well. And last but not least, I want everyone that's listening to this to acknowledge the silver lining, or what I call the gift of all situations and what it's taught you. When we do that, we can actually embrace even the worst things. And I'm not saying, there's been a lot of weird stuff going on lately. I've got that many friends who have lost people in the last 2 weeks. I'm not going to say be positive. What's the gift in that? But down the track, have a think about, what did you learn from that person or that experience that you can actually use for good? So that's really important. I think now is the time to amplify practices in the workplace to really elevate gratitude. Create forums, bring it into conversations. You don't have to call it gratitude. I last year during one of the lockdowns, we were running the Gratitude Cafe, and it was just a Zoom room drop in, and we were talking about things we were grateful for in ourselves, our family, our teams, our friends, and the world. And the conversation was electrifying, the stuff that came out of that. I really believe the conduit to strong and connected relationships and a collaborative culture that people want to be part of stems down to, a lot of different things. But I think gratitude can get small wins. It can help, build morale and motivation, especially at times like now. So I'm running lots of programs on this, and I'm sure there's clients listening out there who've been part of some of them. The Gift Mindset Culture Program is a program where we come in and we talk about what the gift mindset is in the workplace, why it matters, what gets in the way, and how to make it happen. And then we go through the 12 skills that you can deepen, or the 12 gifts, when you have a gift mindset. And we actually do a bit of a diagnostic. So we work out, do you want to talk about the gift of resilience or the gift of gratitude? We work out the order, and then we run a dynamic workshop, virtually or face-to-face, on that skill, tools to deepen and develop it, and get people to share their story around those certain skills. So we're taking bookings for July for the Gift Mindset Culture Program. Feel free to reach out to me directly at admin@reneegiarrusso.com. If you're watching this, you'll see at the bottom of the screen, you can go to reneegiarrusso.com programs and have a look. And really loving your feedback. As always, thank you for listening wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is. And we'd love to hear from you if you've got any guests or topics you'd like us to cover in the future. But jump on, have a look at, if you'd like to engage us. We've got some public programs as well, the Limitless Leaders 90-day connection. So if you want to get out of your workplace and learn, grow, and connect with 15 other leaders over 3 months, 3 different little events, with a theme in August, the 17th, it kicks off, and the theme is developing connective teams. So it's all about team building, and we will be launching our new game that you get a copy of. So jump on and let us know. Places are limited. Thank you for listening. Stay well, and we look forward to chatting with you soon.